Welcome to LiveCast with AdziMagic. Today, this is our first ever recorded podcast. Me and Pebsie do a video call together. You're going to see the whole thing uncut from start to finish. Pebsie is a great guy, great following. He's a content creator and a streamer. You'll find out why he drinks non-alcoholic beer. The gender of his baby, he reveals that exclusively on this podcast, as well as finding out generally he's an all-round artist other than the fact he can't draw.
Hi, I'm Pebsie, and welcome to LiveCast with AdziMagic.
Right, so Pebsie. Firstly, I always like to start with your name. Where did it come from?
Oh, great. So, when I was very, very young, I wanted a screen name, and I was signing up for a YouTube account. I was probably about 11, so this is like bloody hell, I'm 25. What's that?
14 years ago.
That is 14 years ago. Yeah. I can do basic maths. I'm clever. And I mashed the keyboard, literally just went bam like that, and it came up with KHJUI. However, somehow, it's good.
That's good. I like that.
When I got to playing World of Warcraft in 2012, someone else on my realm had the name KHJUI, so I had to come up with something new. I was drinking a can of Pepsi, and I had a cat called Pebbles, so I just mashed the two together, and that became Pebsie. And actually, that's just stuck with me for the last 11 years now. So, yeah.
That's brilliant. So the KHJUI is genuine.
Yeah, I have a YouTube.
Happened.
If you want to see videos, I used to make little Doctor Who fan films. They're horribly embarrassing, but I'm not the kind of person to take something like that down. If you want to see 12-year-old me doing special effects and stuff, you can search KHJUI on YouTube, and that shows you one of my first ever YouTube channels.
Honestly, I wish I knew that before. I could have looked them up. That'd be brilliant. And obviously, I know I know a little bit about your background, but obviously I'm going to let you talk about that. So, when did you start streaming and why?
Okay, so the boring answer. Let me start that again. So originally, I wanted to get into streaming for a very, very long time. And when I was at university, I kind of thought, oh, there's an opportunity to do so. So in 2016, it was Halloween. Me and a friend sat down and we did a little Halloween stream that no one watched. And it was rubbish. And I think the VOD is still up actually on my Twitch somewhere. There's clips from it.
Excellent.
6 hours of playing Alien Isolation and eating pizza. And we had a great time, but no one watched it. And that's what I did Halloween night 2016 while I was a fresher at university. People have wild stories.
Fabulous.
They're fresh as year. Me sitting down streaming.
Didn't go out and get on it. No,
not at all. So I didn't do it again for 4 years. So skip ahead 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah,
that's 4 years. I can't do basic arithmetic today. What's going on? So
it's been a
4 years
week.
later, exactly. So 4 years later, the pandemic hits, and everyone is on Twitch. Twitch gets double the amount of viewers or something. Overnight, and I'm playing Dead by Daylight with my brother and a couple of mates every night.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna hit go live. I'm not even gonna tell them I'm gonna hit go live. I'm just gonna hit go live and see what happens. Actually, no, sorry, that's not quite true. My brother had already been streaming Dead by Daylight off of his PlayStation 4. And again, he didn't really get any traction with that. So he kind of planted that seed of streaming Dead by Daylight. And it was the only game I was playing at the time. So I just hit go live and I just started streaming. And I think building up to affiliate, building up to 3 viewers and 50 followers. And I think it took about a year before we reached that point. I know the guy you had on last hit it in 10 days or something ridiculous.
Crazy, right?
For me, it was over 100 hours of streaming, I'm pretty sure. I got into a routine with it, and it just kind of went from there. It just kind of grew from there.
Because you and I, funny enough, started streaming roughly about the same time. So I did the same lockdown. Really? And I remember when I followed you, one of my favourite things was the new follower song. So when you obviously you got way too many. You got nearly 7,000 followers, so you can't be doing that for every new follower now. But I remember coming into your stream, hitting the follow button, and obviously we know each other anyway, so it was nice. But you picked up your guitar and you made up a song on the spot, impromptu. It was brilliant, and I thought, what an excellent little gimmick. But then obviously that died quite quickly because obviously when your channel got so much traction. You literally can't do it.
And we can talk about that. It was insane. The thing with the songs is I really enjoyed doing them, but I actually got quite a lot of hate for not hate. I got a lot of like mean comments for doing that.
Serious?
A lot of people would be like, "Oh, am I the only one that mutes every time you start singing?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I just won't do it then." So actually, I kind of stopped doing that. I was quite discouraged, and I stopped doing that before I started gaining any proper traction. But no, that was a fun little gimmick, and a lot of my early like Twitch clips are just songs, because obviously every time someone followed and got a song, they would then clip it, which was like unintentionally a fantastic thing to do to like gain algorithm juice and get pushed up on recommended.
Yeah, of course.
And that's it's not the reason that I blew up the way I did. That was because of YouTube and a guy called JRM. But like, yeah, that helped a lot in the early days, no doubt.
Yeah, I wish I'd clipped mine because I'd obviously tag it onto this VOD when it goes up. But sadly, I don't have it. I didn't even think about it back then.
Right. No.
But yeah, so obviously so you started with Dead by Daylight. I obviously watched some of your Minecraft streams as well. So when did you didn't switch, did you? Just were concurrently doing them both?
Yeah, so I tend to burn out in any game I'm playing after a few months. And I got into a cycle with Dead by Daylight where I would stream it for 3 months, and then I would just be bored of it, so I'd find something else to do for a few weeks. So one time that was Phasmophobia, one time that was Minecraft. So you probably saw one of those Minecraft streams. We used to do like lava survival, where we'd have lava rising from the bottom every minute or so, and it was like a fight to the death who lasted.
And Brawl Quest as well. That was on your list of.
Oh yeah, Brawl Quest. Do you know what Brawl Quest is?
That's your game, isn't it?
That's my game. Yeah. So yeah, in 2021, we got funding to work on this game full time for 6 months, and we did, and no one bought it, so it's dead. Yeah, it's dead. The company's dissolved now, but yeah, that was the game I streamed.
You've still got it as well, right?
I've still got it. I've still got all of the code right next to me on my laptop.
Yeah, because I remember obviously a little bit about, because we did some T-shirts for Brawl Quest when you did.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So
Printing on C.
Back in the day, yeah. Our lovely sponsor.
Well, actually, you say that. This used to be something that I said all the time when I was selling the shirts. As you know, actually, because we took a couple of pictures together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Everyone does streaming drop ships their clothing.
Yeah.
Because it's the cheapest way of doing it. But I made a point of this, of saying, look, we're working with a local supplier. I know these guys.
Yeah.
Here are the physical shirts. These are not being drop shipped. You get stickers. You get a CD. Because I've got 100 EPs that I made in 2016 that I can't get rid of. You get these custom poly mailers, and we wrapped it all up. It was the best merch experience of anyone on Twitch.
Yeah.
The best merch experience of anyone on Twitch. And then again, we didn't sell a lot of shirts, even though put all this effort in.
Well, but it was a good idea, and that's the main thing.
It's all about quality. It's all about quality. And if I went back to doing that again, I would do the exact same thing, even though it didn't prove particularly successful last time, because I think it's the right thing to do.
So obviously, when did the content creation start? So because I know obviously you're big on YouTube as well. So you stream on Twitch, and then obviously uploading videos, and I guess a lot of them were like hints and tips videos for Dead by Daylight. So did you start that immediately, or did you just go, oh, I should probably be uploading to YouTube?
So I started uploading YouTube videos, not onto YouTube, onto Google Video, when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've always made content on and off since then. So again, 14 years ago, always made content. Working on stuff, just like little videos here and there. I did vlogs at university. I did vlogs at college. And when I was streaming these Dead by Daylight videos, I thought, right, I'm going to do an experiment. Every single stream I do, I'm going to find one game. I'm going to create a clip out of that game, or like a video out of that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit it down into like a 3-4 minute summary. I'm going to give it a title that is this something, verb something. So this spirit took what? This game was so close. This game was almost perfect.
Yeah.
Along with custom thumbnails, and I thought I'm going to upload this on a new channel, not really tell anyone about it, and just try and upload a video every week, and see where it goes. And although I didn't stick to that format for very long, that's kind of what got it started. Yeah.
And so you were saying about YouTube and your channel sort of blowing up via another guy. I missed his name.
So at one point, I pivoted from making gameplay videos to making kind of like fringe instructional videos.
Yeah.
So no one was really doing that at the time. Going, oh, okay, Dead by Daylight is a game all about timing. So what's the fastest you can repair a generator? What's the slowest you can make a survivor heal, for example?
Yeah.
And what I did that for ages, maximum effort I possibly could, poured everything into them, and no one watched them. And then I remember one Christmas Eve, this must have been Christmas Eve 2020.
Yeah.
I suddenly noticed that one video I'd uploaded 6 months ago had gone from 60 views to 400 overnight.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then I checked it the next morning, and it was on like 1.2k. And then within sort of 3 weeks, that video was on 40,000 views.
Wow.
And my channel had grown from about 40 subscribers to around 400. And it just kept going from there. I went from 400 to 1,000 in about a week. I went from 1,000 to 20,000 in about a month. And every video I uploaded just gained more and more traction. So just a blessing from the YouTube algorithm. But that didn't really translate over to Twitch. So I was still getting sort of 20 viewers average on Twitch.
Yeah.
And then this one guy called JRM, who's like who is massive in the Dead by Daylight community. I think he's got like 300,000 YouTube subs now, probably more than that.
Wow.
He gets sort of 2,000 viewers a stream, and he'd seen my YouTube content. He liked what I was doing, so he followed me on Twitch one day, and then he saw that I was live, and he raided me, and that was like 800 viewers.
So I was going to ask you about this because your peak viewers for one stream was 1,280 people.
Yeah.
So that was that from him that day.
It wasn't that day. It wasn't that day. He raided me a few times, and every time he raided me, I one of the things that I do on Twitch is I try and reply to every single chat message, even when the chat's just being flooded.
Yeah.
And people don't really tend to do that. So a lot of people that joined saw that I would reply to every message, and that encouraged them to continue sending messages and encouraged a lot of them to follow.
Yeah.
And at that point, they may as well have just stayed in the stream for an hour. And once you've been in a stream for an hour, you're like, you feel part of that community now, and you're going to come back next time. So
100%.
It kind of grew from there. And then I ended up about 110 average, just organically without any raids.
Yeah, I remember like literally watching you from. It almost seemed like you went in a week or two. You went from like 30 viewers every stream, and I was chatting with Ads in the office, and I was like, "Tom's live. Have you seen how many people are watching it?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Yes, like 100. It's amazing." While we're on numbers, right? So I don't know if you remember this conversation. It's in my previous podcast. You actually said something to me that encouraged me to carry on streaming at a time when I was getting pretty, like, you know how it is when you look at those viewer numbers in the top right hand corner and you're streaming and you're thinking, I'm making good content, why is no one here? Like,
yeah.
I remember streaming to like 7 or 8 people, and I said to you about it, and you said to me, have you ever thought about it this way though? Imagine those 7 to 8 people are sat behind you in your room watching you game. And as soon as you said that, it blew my mind away. I was like, oh my God, I just don't... I've never thought about it like that, having an audience. And obviously, just because they're online, it doesn't mean they're not with me. And that made me start to look at Twitch completely differently. And then obviously for you couldn't have probably fit 110 people in your house, but...
Yeah. I go through the same thing. So I've got 37,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And to me, that's not a very big number. However, I remember a time when 100 subscribers was a big number. I remember when I hit 1,000 subscribers being overjoyed. And even when my channel sort of grows by 1,000 subscribers a month, I don't care that much, even though once upon a time, just having 1,000 subscribers was a big deal. And I think the human brain sort of adjusts automatically to just want more and more and more. And it's the same with Twitch. Like, I think you said in one of your messages to me when we were talking about doing this, that it's interesting that I took like a 5-month break and then I come back and I hit sort of 38 average viewers. To me, that's not a lot. But again, you're right. You picture it like that, 38 people in a room. That's phenomenal. And there would have been a time when I remember one of the reasons that I used to play Minecraft on stream is because I would get 8 viewers when I did it. I'd get 4 if I played Dead by Daylight and 8 and so I'd always play Minecraft because it's like, I want the viewers.
Yeah, getting more people in.
Exactly. But yeah, that's yeah. Whatever past me, whoever I got that from, because I'm sure it wasn't an original thought, but that was a wise thing to say. Well done.
Yeah. Well,
23-year-old Tom.
I'm gonna say that's a Pebsie original. Like
We'll see.
that quote will always live with me.
Someone's gonna say.
Yeah, someone will
No. He got this from. Yeah.
That was me. I told him that.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, and you touched on numbers, so I was going to talk about them. So you said about your 37,000 YouTube subscribers. Did you know that if you hired out Ellen Road, the Leeds football stadium, they would just about fit in there?
I don't know. That's mad.
So if you think about it, you're standing on the centre circle of a football pitch in a football stadium, and it's full, like packed out. So when you think about numbers like that, giving it a sort of a visual representation, you just think that's a crazy amount of people.
Yeah.
And similar to obviously your YouTube views. So I went onto your YouTube channel, and obviously you've got nearly 9 million views. That's more than there are people in Switzerland or Hong Kong or Israel. So, it's madness. One of your TikToks has 1 million views on its own.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
So, what does it feel like? Firstly, because your videos have got, there's quite a disparity between the view numbers. Some are like, I'm going to say low, but I mean they're still amazing numbers, like in the tens of thousands. And then you've got some like 350k. Like, does that affect you? And you think, wow, look at 350k, look at me.
No, it pisses me off.
Does it? Because you want more.
Well, no, because I when I was 11 and I was making Doctor Who fan films with my brother and my cousin. All we wanted, we dreamed of doing YouTube full time and that being our job. And in 2021, my YouTube channel started taking off. Two significant things happened with me and my brother. My YouTube channel started taking off, and my brother's band got signed and went on tour supporting Frank Turner. So you might not know who he is, but he's playing to sort of 2,000-seater venues across the UK.
Yeah.
They went on a 50-day US tour with him, and now they've been all over the world touring with him.
Insane.
And now they're like a big band. And it coincided perfectly that like my dream was coming true at the same moment my brother's was. But then time passes on and reality starts to settle in.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not for me to say, but my brother's career, they're still very successful. But for me, it was the slog of having to stream every day and then having to make 3 videos a week, and knowing that if I didn't make 3 videos a week, or if I slightly deviated from my usual formula, I'd get less views. So when I look at a video of mine that's like 300,000 views, and I look at another one that's like 15,000, I think, if every video would have got that many views, if the algorithm had just shown the video to the right people, then I would still be doing this full time. But, over time, the algorithm massively picked me up, and then it just dropped me. And I didn't have enough momentum to carry it on and carry on pushing it full time.
Yeah, because that was going to be one of my questions. So you stopped. So that was about October time. So about 5 months ago, you stopped being a full-time streamer, content creator. Why did you stop altogether? Like no streams, no videos, nothing. Why didn't you just dial it down a little bit and carry on? Had you just lost the love for it, or?
I'm an all or nothing guy. I think there was a perfect storm of stuff going on. As you know, I ran a business called Freshplay, doing mobile apps, like as an agency, and everything coincided at the same time. Freshplay was at its most stressful when my YouTube channel started taking off, which was just after we'd got funding to work on that game I was talking about earlier for 6 months. So here I had a responsibility to the company, I had a responsibility to the company that had just been funded, and on the other hand, I had this dream of mine growing and growing and growing, and I just basically mentally broke down from stress. And that is the best way of wording it. I spent about a month bedbound every day because even though all these amazing things were happening, I just couldn't function because I'm all or nothing, and I can't give 300% of myself.
Yeah, of course.
In these different ways. And so I left the company finally last year. Which was long overdue, and I was kind of stringing the guys along, and it wasn't fair.
Yeah.
And they now continue to run the company, and they're very successful with it, so that's great. The other company that did BrewQuest got dissolved, and after pushing my streaming and my YouTube for a bit, not really making enough money to help pay rent, I decided that it was time to just kind of leave it. And I chanced upon a job, applied for it, and now I work full time doing app development.
Yeah, I heard about your new job. It sounds actually really good.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, and my employment contract specifies that I can still make money from doing YouTube and Twitch, so I still have some wiggle room. And now I've got kind of a bit of mental stability, and I've got that stable paycheck. It's making me want to move back into getting streaming and getting my content creation going again as a side thing, so I don't have to focus on it. I streamed on Saturday, sorry.
Yeah.
And I haven't streamed at all else this week. I'm looking forward to streaming at some point this week, but I don't need to anymore, and that's a game changer.
Yeah, I guess it makes a big difference when you're doing it more for fun and social than you're doing it to make a living. Because
I love, to be clear, I love doing it for a living. It's just the stress of, as you know, running a business, the stress of not having that steady paycheck.
Yeah.
It's draining, and if you're not fully committed to it, then it can be hell.
And the life of a content creator is so up and down, in the sense of like some of the streamers and YouTubers I've talked to who tell me about their earnings going from literally thousands one month to hundreds the next.
Yeah.
And if you've got rent to pay, like you said, or a mortgage or other commitments, children, it becomes impossible to know. And you're almost fighting a losing battle, because if you're having a bad month, you feel like, oh, I've got to put more content out. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And when that isn't paying off, it disheartens you. And then you're like...
Everything suffers. The quality of your content goes down, which means people are less interested in watching it, which means you're going to make more money, which means you're going to feel more discouraged, which means it's going to be harder to continue keeping the quality high. It's a nightmare. And we're all just kind of chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I know how much these bigger streamers, these bigger YouTubers earn, and it's a phenomenal amount of money. It's a phenomenal amount of money. More than I think I would even know what to spend. And it's not so far out of reach that it's not like an attainable goal.
Yeah.
But it just requires all of your like mind, body, and soul devoted to it to reach that point. And then you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going at it, or it's going to drop. And you're going to feel it. Your whole self-worth becomes defined by magic numbers that are defined by an invisible algorithm. It's yeah.
And then, and like you said as well, that algorithm is forever changing. So one day you can be flavor of the month. The next day, YouTube doesn't want to show people your videos anymore. You know.
Exactly.
And you got to work out.
It is down to the algorithm doing it. It's the algorithm that decides. I get things are less people are choosing to watch this video than usual. It's like, yeah, I can see that because you're not showing it to them. I can see the amount of impressions I'm getting. Oh man, but it's incredibly rewarding, and it's incredibly fulfilling, and I thoroughly loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
But it was stressful. I mean, again, it's the same as business. It's like I love business stuff, but I hate the stress associated with it.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
The one thing about, like you said, a job with a paycheck is that, yes, you've got certain responsibilities in your day job, but as soon as you get home, I mean, obviously you work from home, so, but as soon as you clock off, that's it then. No more thinking about work, not necessarily anyway. I know a lot of people still do, but for me it's 24/7, 365, you know. Even when I go on holiday, I've often take my laptop with me. Adam's great though, because the other Adam, because he sorts out the business while I'm not there, but I'm not very good at separating myself, so I'll find myself 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night answering emails and Facebook messages, and I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, I should be. And so I try to have a cut-off. I try to give myself at least the weekends, and then during the week I do, you know, I do. It's
stressful in and of itself. It's stressful because it's stressful when you don't think you should be doing something and you're still doing it. And it's like, no, I should have boundaries. I mean, I don't care. I'm not currently stressed replying to this email, but then that stresses you out. And I was exactly the same. I don't think you can run a company without being on 24/7. No. I totally relate to that. Yeah,
it's difficult. So roll back to before you quit. Not quit, because that's a bad word, because you're still going, you're still here.
But it's accurate.
Yeah, roll back to when you were at your prime. I remember you coming into the office and talking to me about Pebsie Max and Diet Pebsie and all these ideas of alternative channels that you were going to introduce to get more content out there, but doing a different thing on each channel. Have you canned all that as well, or are you still thinking in the back of your mind you're going to, at some point?
I think the good thing about building a following is that you don't lose it. So I didn't upload a video for 2 months, and then I uploaded one and it got 11,000 views.
Yeah.
I didn't stream for like 4 or 5 months, and then I streamed once and I hit almost 40 viewers again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it goes down. That's less than I was getting before, but it's still there.
Yeah.
And if I want to return to it, those people are still there. With the other channels, Diet Pebsie was a clips channel for my stream.
Yeah.
If I'm not streaming, there are no clips. So simple as that.
Yeah.
Pebsie Max was going to sort of be like IRL vlogs. But typically, if I want to do that, I want to give my all to it. And it's very difficult for me to think right now I'm going to spend 4 hours editing a video that a couple hundred people are going to see, which is still a significant amount. But I know that if I was to release a video on my main channel, that tens of thousands of people would potentially see it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to stay motivated at that point. But no, these are all things that I still want to do. I think I did quit when I got this other job. I updated my LinkedIn to say Pebsie TTV content creation, whatever, 2020 to 20 November 2022.
Oh, wow.
Sad day.
You actually ended.
I updated my LinkedIn to say, yeah. But it's now back to, I currently work this position, so...
Oh, fantastic. Well, there you go. So that's good news. Because when I saw you come live on Saturday, I was like, result, this is great. Because obviously, I'm biased because I follow you and I enjoy watching your streams, but I actually think you're one of the most natural content creators and natural Twitch streamers I've ever seen.
Thank you so much.
You know, it's an art to be able to do what you do. And like you were saying, I was going to touch on answering all the messages. I've been in your chat where the messages are like, like, I can't even keep up myself, and I'm not streaming or playing a game, or just watching. And then you always take a moment and you're like, right, what have I missed in the chat? And then you'll scroll back and you'll chat through. And obviously, whilst what you've missed, it's still going at the same speed, adding new stuff to the bottom. But you built a great community, and I guess like that takes some time. And like you were saying about when you came back, averaging 38 on that first stream after 5 months weren't the numbers you were used to. But I imagine a few weeks, if you were doing it on a regular basis, those numbers would get back right up there quickly.
I think to build a following on Twitch, you need to be, first off, putting out good content, obviously. Yeah. But secondly, it's all about consistency. Mm-hmm. So if you say, I'm going to be live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 8 p.m., you have to be live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. If you're a minute late, you've lost viewers. If you're 5 minutes late, you may as well not stream. This sounds horrible, but this is just the way it is. And you can't stream for 1 hour. You can't stream for 2 hours. You have to stream for sort of 4 or 5 hours, because otherwise people will miss you. You've got and once you're in that routine, you have to stick to it. If you suddenly change your routine up, people aren't going to come, because watching Twitch is all about building a habit. Yeah. This sounds horrible. This sounds so like sociopathic, but
I know what you mean.
People work you into their routine. When I streamed in the morning, people had me on. You had me on the office. People had me on their commute to work. People had me on during their 10 a.m. That's science class. So I'm gonna chuck an AirPod in and chuck Pebsie stream. This is how people consume my content. Yeah. That's what they got into the habit of doing. When that content is no longer there for them to engage with, they're probably not going to change their evening routine up. No. To put that habit into place, because you're just part of a habit for them. Like it's this sounds horrible and reductionist or whatever, but this is my experience with it.
No, I know.
So you need to stream for a good amount of time consistently. Otherwise you can't build a following, and it takes months. If I was to be consistent every week, it would be probably 6 months before I hit what I used to. I'm talking like 60, 70 plus. Yeah. And I would probably get, I think I peaked at 100 subscribers, which is around £250 a month. Probably less than that now. Probably £200, £180 a month. If you think about it, if you're streaming every day for like 3 hours, you're working for like £1 or £2 an hour. Yeah. And again, this is why you can't think of it as a business. You can't think of it like work, because it will drive you crazy. Yeah, that's true. And with the like the numbers and obviously Twitch in itself, as soon as you stop
streaming at the times that you said, or as soon as you change up your routine, the people who have been used to watching you from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m., they'll just find something else to do in that time. Yeah. And I guess that's what's happened to your viewers that you would have had over the last 5 months, would have been used to seeing you regularly in the evenings, and then they'd have just gone, oh, well, Pebsie's not seem to be around anymore, so I'll just go and watch this guy instead. And then they get invested in that community, and you've got to win them back almost if you do it again.
Yeah, you're again, I love other streamers. I love Twitch. I love communities on Twitch, but you are fighting against other streamers to try and take back your viewers.
Yeah.
They've got someone else now. They're not interested in the old thing they used to do. And yeah, that's the nature of it. This sounds really demotivating, but that's why it's exactly why I'm saying you can't think of it as a full-time job. You can't use regular business metrics. This is the problem that I fell into, is I came from a business background, so I would always be thinking, how many dollars to the hour? How are we growing? What's the projection? You can't do that because it's just not. You don't want to think about it like this.
Yeah.
This mindset, the fact that I talk about it like this, shows that it was a toxic thing for me.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense because I loved doing it. I should have just done it for the love of it. And then the money or the viewership should come secondary to that.
Yeah,
but that's not what happened when I tried to push it full time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, sorry, I'm all worked up now.
I just think you're probably one of the guys that had it have gone from 0 to 1,000 really quickly. You got to like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You got to like 50K on Twitch, and you were streaming to thousands of people. I think the money would have been inconsequential then, because like you say, you get to the point where you're earning too much that you're not even going to count it, because you don't need to worry about it. But you're a little bit like me in the sense of like, I literally work out to the hour how much I've earned today, based upon profit and loss. And some days I come home and think, great, I basically will slug my backside off for 9 hours and I've earned 30 quid today.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore, thankfully, because
but with business, it's all about potential, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go, well, that's okay because I know I'm building towards something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to highlight that, I'm not going to say who it is. It's not the big YouTuber that I've already spoken about on this stream, but there was a payment issue on Google's end where every YouTube partner got their payments 2 weeks late, and I know this one particular person. Again, I haven't said the name on this podcast yet, so you can't say, oh, was it this person?
No, I won't.
They were out 11K, like £11,000.
Wow.
And the way they worded it was RIP 11K, like it was nothing. Like it just didn't, like, oh.
Was it Vicstar?
So I guess I'm not getting that. Because they would also be getting 15 grand from Twitch the same month.
Yeah.
And I just think, if you're earning 200,000, I know you're paying tax. What are you spending that money on? You could buy like a house every year, like outright. What are you spending that money on?
My thoughts exactly.
I don't understand it. And for playing video games, what a dream. And it's not like that because it is work. It does become work. But yeah. Just to say, while I'm getting worked up, that this is 0% beer, by the way. It's a Heineken, but
that's fine.
I'm not getting drunk and then getting more rowdies. This is just me. This is just how I am sometimes.
That's brilliant. We had a conversation as well once, a little while back, about Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Because you were saying to me, because you took a little break, like a mini break, 6 months or so before you stopped in the October, and you said, I just don't like playing that game anymore. I want to stream Warzone. But I know if I do, I'm going to lose my community. So this Pebsie revival, are we going to see just Dead by Daylight, or are you going to mix it up? Are you going to start playing games you want to play?
It's hard to say. I streamed the other night because I had a couple of beers.
I thought you were a bit cheery.
Yeah. And me and my wife went out to the Wetherspoons in Colchester.
Yeah.
For a nice romantic meal. I don't know. I just fancied a burger, and I got a pizza, so I didn't even get the. But anyway, I had a couple of beers, and I was like, you know what? Should I just go live? Let's hit go live when we get home. And I thought she was going to say, oh, no, don't get into that. But she was like, yeah, why not? And I was like, yeah, why not? Why not just hit go live? What? I love doing this.
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. And I had absolutely, the worst thing is that I had an absolute blast playing Dead by Daylight. I had more fun with that game than I think I've had in the last year in that 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get back into it. Doesn't mean I'm going to be doing it for more than a couple of months before I get annoyed again. But I have other options.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think to begin with, just focusing on DVD, but maybe branching out in the future. What I need to do is establish a personal brand because I will never stop being me. No. So if I lose interest in gaming, I can just get my camera out and start vlogging again. And if I have a personal brand, I'm able to do that. So yeah.
Well, you're a talented guy because you're a musician as well, and I know you're Round Window.
Round Window, yes. Shout out.
Feel free to tell us about, because I know that's obviously taken up some of your time as well at the moment.
Yeah, last couple of months. So I'm in a sort of I'm going to say progressive rock, but it's not really. We call ourselves widescreen rock, which is a genre we invented. Very pretentious, but we released an album last year, self-titled, called The Round Window, which is available on Apple Music and Spotify and all that. I play keys and do some backing vocals in that. It's really nice because it's my dad who writes the songs and sings them.
Oh wow!
And then my brother on drums, and then me playing keys, and then we have a really good bassist and a really good guitarist.
Who aren't family.
Who aren't family, no, but
sadly.
It's like a family. We argue just as much as regular families.
Well, that's good.
No. So we released that album last year, and I've released an EP in 2016, and I bought 100 copies and sold 5. I obviously used to do stuff in another band called Fish Slice.
Yes.
And we released an EP, and again, it wasn't
Spooning by the Toilets.
Exactly, Spooning by the Toilets. Great song. That's also on Spotify. That didn't sell very well. And me and my dad, as The Round Window, released an EP in 2019 that also didn't sell very well. So when we ordered I think we ordered 200 copies of the album when we released it this time. And I was like, well, I'll be happy if we sell 10. And then within a month, we'd sold 105 copies, and we were getting all of these messages from like prog reviewers that I respect, and whose work I've seen before in like Prog magazine and stuff, and they were all saying, "Oh, this is really like this." My dad has a subscription to Prog magazine, Progressive Rock magazine, and we were on one of the pages and we hadn't submitted anything. We didn't know this was going to happen. This is just a magazine that he reads. Yeah. You could have gone into Tesco's, picked up this magazine, and there was our album art on one of the pages.
Wow.
It was in a section called Last But Not Least, but, you know. And, so it's being mixed by a guy called Robin Armstrong, who's in a band called Cosmograph. Oh, sorry, it's just him, but it's his, like, group, even though it's just him. It's called Cosmograph. And I'd seen him play live before with one of my favourite prog bands. He was on keys. We've just recorded drums. This is for album 2. We've just recorded drums. The same studio where one of my favourite drummers records most of his stuff when he's in the UK.
Yeah.
It's all going. It's really good. So the last month we've just been finalising album 2. Writing loads of key parts. So that's all now done. Vocals are recorded at the start of this week, so it's in the mixing process now. It's all rolling forward. So. Yeah.
So you're an all-round artist.
I guess.
Content creator, you name it.
I'm rubbish at drawing. So don't. When I hear the word artist,
you can't be great at everything though, because that's just not fair.
Yeah.
I did want to touch though on your stream on Saturday because I came in, I was watching it, and I encourage anyone, because I take it, is it still up on your channel?
It's still on the vlog.
Yeah, I promise it's worth the watch. If you go back, the funniest thing starts happening. People start subscribing, and Tom gets angry and says, "I haven't streamed for 5 months. Like, why are you subscribing? You're just throwing your money away."
I probably never will again. I don't know when I'll be back.
I don't know when I'll next be live. Oh yeah, thanks for the 12 months. Yeah, thanks for the 8 months. Oh yeah, thanks for the Prime. You're still subscribing. I don't know why. Oh, you're now donating bits. This is brilliant. I've literally, I was just like, honestly, You even said at one point, if I knew it was this easy to get subscribers by telling people not to subscribe, I would have used that tactic a long time
Reverse
ago.
psychology. Reverse psychology. It's easy, isn't it? We did have this running joke in the stream. You'll see it every stream. I'm sure you remember this, where there was a group of people who every time I would go live, when they first came in chat, they would wish me happy birthday.
Yeah.
And I used to say it's not my birthday, and I reached a certain point where I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you. I guess it is my birthday." Yeah. The problem is, when people on Twitch find out it's your birthday, they like to gift subs. I had someone gift 50 subs thinking it was my birthday, when it was not my birthday. The problem with inside jokes, yeah.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, I mean, that guy spent, bloody hell, 250 quid?
250 quid, yeah.
Yeah. So, yep.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I remember you actually saying in the stream on Saturday that technically it was your birthday stream because it's the first stream you've done since your birthday.
You know what's weird? I say so much like just BS when I'm on stream, and then immediately forget I've said it, and then you'll like repeat, or someone will, not just necessarily, but someone will repeat something I said on stream, and suddenly it comes flooding back. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's like when you go out and you get
Classic
way
me.
too drunk and you can't remember what happened the night before.
Yeah.
And then one of your friends just remembers everything and just
no,
tells you all the things you did. And all of a sudden you start getting these little flashbacks and you're like, oh my God, don't mention that.
Night together.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. So obviously we've touched on a few bits. So what's next then? Literally just streaming as and when you fancy.
Yeah, I'm going to drink this 0% Heineken.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe I'll go live. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a plan. I said I would put a schedule together, and as tends to happen whenever I say that, I haven't put a schedule together. And I probably won't put a schedule together. I will just hit go live when it suits me. This is a nice setup right now. I literally just moved everything upstairs.
So I like the lighting.
For this. It's actually, this is great for an audio format. You can see I've got a banana there, so that's for later.
Yeah.
So I used to have my camera pointing that way, laundry drying up. But I feel like it looks cleaner to point it this way.
Well, you see, I should have done that because obviously behind me I've still got my laundry and my bed. I am going to change my setup at some point, but
that's rough. It's all good.
I moved into this flat 5 weeks ago, so I'm still finding my feet.
There's a streamer in the Dead by Daylight community who gets thousands of viewers who literally just streams like that, exactly like that, similar like webcam setup.
Yeah.
No, like bed behind him. It's cool.
No, that's it. Oh yeah, speaking of setups, actually, we will move this section obviously to earlier in the podcast later on. But I wanted to ask you what your streaming setup was like when you started, and like. Because I know I don't call myself a streamer. I'm a casual. I like to go live every now and then. I haven't got a schedule. If somebody watches, somebody watches. If they don't, they don't. I just always got into the mindset of if I'm turning my PlayStation on, I may as well just go live. It doesn't matter. What harm can it do? But even then, I've slowly spent thousands of pounds on various bits for my setup. Like I started off with a £10 camera and a £10 microphone from Amazon, and now I've got a much better camera. Not the one that you're watching me on because I'm using two cameras, being a bit cheeky. So my actual stream camera is what we're recording on. You're seeing the £10 one. Sorry, Tom.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I did think the looks worse than usual, but I didn't want to say it.
No, so I went for I think my camera was like 200 quid. The original microphone I went for was like 100 and something. I then downgraded to the HyperX Quadcast just because it's red. It's fancy. it's fancy. You when you mute it, the light goes off. When you unmute it, the light's on. I like that,
Yeah.
But I find the recording quality is so much better than my really expensive one. But I guess talk me through how you started and then where you got to. Because I can see your chair.
Right. Oh man, I hadn't even thought about the chair. So this is 2019 in my original office.
Wow.
Right. £30 webcam. This is 2020 when I first started streaming properly in my flat. You can see me playing guitar.
Yeah.
I paid someone on Fiverr £200 to make an overlay that I used for 1 week because I didn't like it. So that's great.
And then you built your own, I guess.
Yeah. I did a TV thing. This is 2021. You can see me still pushing the guitar thing. This is probably right as my channel was blowing up.
Yeah.
And then this is in this room facing the other way in 2020 and obviously in 2022, sorry, and obviously this is now. So, I mean, it's snowballed. I'm an absolute idiot with a very high credit limit. And it's wiped out a lot of my wife's savings. So I'd started off again with a £30 webcam and a computer that could barely run the game, and then I upgraded to first off upgraded the microphone. My wife actually bought me this as a Christmas present. So this is an SM7 Beast. It's a £300 microphone, same one that Joe Rogan uses, same one like all these big guys. I bought a Stream Deck because I wanted to switch between scenes without having to type little weird things. So this has all of my stuff on it. So I want to switch scenes. I can just click there. Yeah. Sound effects, soundboard, everything. This camera is a bloody £700 camera. As I'm using it as a webcam.
Yeah.
What is going on? That is plugged into a Camlink 4K, which costs £100.
Wow.
And all my whole setup used to run through a Go XLR, which was £500. And then I upgraded my computer and bought a £900 processor and a £900 graphics card. And there's something else like, the chair cost £300. And I'm not saying this to brag.
No.
I'm terrible with money.
Yeah.
This is the problem. I saw it as a business. Yeah. And obviously this is all tax deductible. So, I would just buy things because like... my setup is like probably the most expensive as Twitch setup could possibly be.
Yeah. For
someone who gets 40 average on Twitch. But there was a time when I was pushing it hard, and I'm all about quality. And the fact is, if you spend more money, things are going to sound and look nicer, so people are more likely to stay. So.
Did you ever reach partner?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
So you're right.
I am partner on Twitch. Yeah.
You don't lose that then.
No, you can't lose it unless you deactivate your account. I will say this, for anyone that's like me and wants to improve their streaming setup, the number one thing you can do, and this isn't going to work very well on audio, so make sure you're watching the YouTube video, but what difference that makes. Yeah. So, obviously I've got the floodlight behind me, it doesn't really work. Yeah, I know what you mean. Softboxes. I think these softboxes were £80. If you don't know what a softbox is, it's these massive lights. Yeah, to say they're like the LED. Yeah, well, just like daylight lights that's like freestanding. Yeah. But like, if I switch this on, suddenly we're in a photo studio, and it looks incredible. So don't buy all the expensive stuff. Just buy softboxes. Sorry, I've forgotten what your original question was. I've gone off on such a tangent here. No, well, I was asking about partner because I was going to ask you about. Obviously, I'm an affiliate. You're a partner. What's the difference? What is the difference? Because you guys get custom emotes now, right? Yeah. Obviously, and I think I've never got to the subscriber level where you can have loads. I think I've got like 7 on my channel, but I know some people have got 40 or 50, and that's without being partner. Yeah, I think I've got 20, but I don't use all the slots. I think the only difference is because do you guys get bits as well, right? Yeah, you get bits, you get subs, you get everything, don't you? My VODs last for 60 days. I'll tell you one thing. That's double. And yeah, I don't know if this is still true, but guaranteed transcoding. So transcoding is the process of taking a video and then squishing it into lower resolutions, which allows people to watch at 360p or 240p rather than 1080p. A lot of affiliates don't get that at peak times because it's a very expensive thing to do, but partners are guaranteed it. That's another benefit. So you will get more people because they can watch it in a quality that fits their internet. I used to have people that complained that I streamed in 1080p because they couldn't watch it because it was too high quality for them, and I had no option for it. So. Yeah. I think that's about it. There's a couple of other differences, but they're only minor. They're small things. Yeah, because it's a nice purple badge at the end of the day. I was going to say, I didn't know if there was any other benefits, like they push you more or anything like that. Not as far as I'm aware. It's literally just... You can flex it. It sounds better as well, incentives. Partner. It does, yeah. Oh, yes, that's right, actually. I think partners get a much better cut of the ads. Because I think... No, it's still small, unless you have a unique, like a specific contract with Twitch, but very few people do. But ad incentives basically means if I run 4 ad breaks an hour and I stream 8 hours in a month, they'll pay me an extra $20. So yeah, ruin the streaming experience for anyone that's not subbed for $20. That sounds like a great deal.
Why not? Encourages them to sub, or just tell them it's your
Yeah, it's
birthday,
true.
or not to.
There you go.
You know. So what would be your advice to somebody starting out on Twitch, or any streaming platform, and it obviously you've touched on it earlier, consistency, one thing. Do you think because the games you play?
I mean, as long as you enjoy it, I think they'll be. People talk a lot about like saturation. I don't think it matters. If you want to play Minecraft, just play Minecraft. The main things that matter is 1, consistency. 2, buy soft boxes if you've got a webcam on because they're cheap and they're great. 3, if you've got 0 viewers, you need to talk like you've got 100 viewers.
Yeah.
Because if someone joins your stream and you're sitting there dead quiet, they're gonna leave. If someone joins your stream and it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
If someone joins your stream and even though there's no one else watching, you're talking like you're famous, like you've got hundreds of people, and you're just narrating everything and the interesting facts, people are going to stick around. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people think, yeah, when I've got viewers, then I'll start talking. It's like, well, you're not going to get viewers if you're not talking.
Yeah.
Even if you're not really talking to anyone. And also, as you're on your journey, you're going to hit points where there's no one talking in chat. Even when you've got 100 viewers, there will be moments during a stream where you might go 3 or 4 minutes without a single message in chat. So you need to know what to do in those situations. So practice that, because it is a skill.
Definitely. Because I'm very guilty of that. Like, I was streaming the Hogwarts game, and the thing is as well with the viewer numbers, they're not consistent. So you might look in your top right, it says 0. You might actually have 3 people watching, and then 5 minutes later it says 3, and you think, oh, there's people here. I'll start being animated, but by then they've already been and gone, and you have no idea, and you think the numbers are live, and you can tell very often because when people are chatting in your chat, sometimes it will say you've got 10 viewers, but you've got 13 people chatting. So you're no, this is not right, because there's way more people in my chat.
You got to switch the viewer count off. It drives me mad. It used to drive me mad. I'd be constantly checking. If it dipped, I'd be disheartened, and then the quality of the content would go down. I think that's another great piece of advice for new streamers: is stop looking at viewers. Don't look at it. Just switch it off. Switch the count off. And just focus on what you're doing. Focus on chat, focus on your game, and what you're saying and doing, and the views will come. Yeah,
they're the 2 most important things, I guess. What you're doing and your chat, the viewer numbers are irrelevant. And like you said, you grew from 30 to pulling over 100 people on a regular basis and holding that many people in your stream as well for a long period of time. I guess the numbers are just literally, that's it. It's just a number, and it doesn't really matter if you've got 100 viewers but only 5 people are chatting. It's still, those other 95 people aren't really relevant to you, so that number isn't really relevant, because you need to concentrate on the people who are relevant, the ones who are engaging in your community. And
I agree with you, but I'd also say there is a surprising amount of people that just watch on TV or whatever and don't ever chat. You need to bear that in mind as well. But I mean, engage with the people that are here. There was this great thing. One of my favorite bands, they're from Leeds, so they're northern. They're northern compared to us in Essex, and they came down to Norwich for a gig, and I think it was like a 250-seater venue, and they sold like 40 tickets.
Yeah.
And it was like, you went in there, and it did not feel there was a lot of people in there. And the guy at the start said, "Look, let's address the elephant in the room. There's not a lot of people here compared to the size of the venue, but we're going to play a gig to the people that are here, not the people that aren't here."
Yeah.
And it was just like, and then they just killed it. And I always think about that. If you're streaming, you stream to the people that are there, not the people that aren't there. Don't be thinking about the people that haven't shown up. Focus on what's going on in front of you now. Simple as that.
I love that. So where are we at in terms of Pebsie? Obviously, so the future plans, I know we touched on it earlier, but are you going to be going back into creating videos as well?
I hope so. I don't know. It's what I have time for. So we just finished recording album 2, So most of my evenings have kind of been taken up with that. My wife's pregnant. Oh, this is great.
Oh yeah.
We found out the sex of the baby today.
Oh, did you? Are you actually going to share it?
Well, I haven't announced it. So what we can do is, right? I can tell people on like Twitter, I found out the sex of my unborn child.
Yeah.
I'm going to exploit it for them for someone else's clout. So the only way you can find out the sex of the baby is by listening to this
podcast.
live stream with AdziMagic. Exactly.
Yes, love it.
So we're going to be having a baby boy.
Fantastic! Congratulations.
Thank you. In July. This is exclusive. This is exclusive to AdziMagic's podcast here.
Love that. So what do you need? A bassist?
What, for the baby?
Yeah, you need it because obviously you get your band with your dad on the vocals, you're on the keys, your brother on drums. So what are we teaching him?
Violin.
Violin.
I need a violinist, definitely. No, so I don't know.
Junior.
Basically, yeah, exactly. I don't know how the next year's gonna go. The next 2 years are gonna go. I hope that I continue to make content. I hope that I'm able to prioritize that and get some stuff out, but not if it's going to cause me stress. So
no, that's fair. But
I hope that I can manage the stress and do what I can. And I hope that I'm able to stream on Twitch, and maybe one day if I'm able to do it full time again, that'd be incredible. But in the meantime, I love the job that I'm doing at the minute, and I'll just keep doing this as a side thing. So
yeah. Well, I love your honesty as well. You know, one of the key things I guess for a lot of people when they find a streamer they like is genuine, honest people, and you are one of the real ones. And not a lot of people would have been as honest as you have been about what you've been through and what you're doing, you know, and because a lot of people would have just been like, either would have forced themselves into an early grave carrying on, or given up entirely and just shut everything down and forget about it. But you're a determined guy, and I've seen nothing but good things for Pebsie in the future, and obviously you because of, you know, you're talented musician as well. And I was surprised when you said you played the keys, because I would have assumed you'd been on the guitar. And
I used to be guitar.
Yeah. I love that.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, like I say, I agree. I don't want to be arrogant, but I hate false modesty.
Yeah.
I do think I've got a natural talent for doing live streaming and making content, and I think that's 100%. Pretty obvious. And I'm not gonna be like, oh no, because I just think that's true. I think everyone that joins my stream, I've got an energy and an ability to read chat that very few other people have, and I think that's unique to my channel. And I hope that I can continue to push that. But yeah, like I say, if it stresses me out, I won't do it. If it becomes too much, I won't do it. At the minute, it's just kind of cruising, seeing what happens. So yeah.
No, that's fair enough. So, do you want to plug your channels? Because obviously it doesn't really matter to you at the moment, but a couple more views on your YouTube channel and some subscribers wouldn't go amiss, would it?
Every single viewer makes it. I used to reply to every single comment on my YouTube channel when I was still able to do that, because it makes a difference. So yeah. So youtube.com/PebsieTTV, Twitter.com/PebsieTTV. I think I'm on TikTok at PebsieTTV, Instagram at PebsieTTV. It's all just the Pebsie TTVs. Twitch.tv, apart from Twitch, where it's just Pebsie. That's twitch.tv/Pebsie.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Tom, for joining me and getting involved. And we'll end it here. Thank you so much to Pebsie. I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did, and we both did, making it. I'm AdziMagic. You can find me on Twitch/AdziMagic. I'm pretty much AdziMagic on all platforms, so if you want to come check me out and support us, please do. And also, I'm still looking for more content creators and streamers to have interviews with, so if you're one of those people who quite fancy a go at this, then give me a shout, drop me a DM, whatever you'd like to do. Slide into my DMs if you wish. Good.